So, Call of Duty. Everybody knows Call of Duty, either of its yearly release or the other things.
С нами Бог. Remember, no Russian.
Call of Duty is kind of a strange case, being made now by 3 or 4 developers. Infinity Ward, Treyarch, Sledgehammer and Raven. It's public opinion depending on the developer. The last Call of Duty that was released was the Modern Warfare reboot, and it was received quite well, unlike Infinite Ward last game. Today the community is quite mixed by many reasons, but I wanna look back at the old days. Call of Duty 2 was released back in 2005 on the PC and Xbox 360, a good 15 years ago. It was made by Infinity Ward and published by Activision. In an era of World War II shooters, this was unsteady on back then. Call of Duty 2 was one of my first games that I played, and like any gamer, I was blinded by nostalgia. Some of the set pieces were amazing to my undeveloped brain back then, so I wanted to revisit the experience again. COD, for how long has gone on, still has some of its fundamentals here. You got your shooting, crouching, proning, leaning, but no sprinting being a modern day necessity. Its exclusion being a shocker. It's replacing being a quick walking pace that kinda slow down the gameplay. The first game had a health bars system where the damage was crucial and the only way to replenish your health was to find medkits. Well, Call of Duty 2 took that concept and thrown it out the window for a regenerating health system that is too common of these days. Well, it was inevitable. The game met with a cinematic style of gameplay, so to keep the player from missing out on the cinematics, action and shooting because he was looking for the medkits, it was a needed change. The gunplay ain't bad here either. It's okay for today's standards. The gun sounds pretty good but somewhat like a punch. And the variety is also good. You have your World War II classics like the Mosin Nagant, Thompson, PPS-41 and the MP-42. The graphics don't hold up that much in today's day and age, but does the design in every area feel handcrafted from the snowy streets of Stalingrad to the beaches of Normandy and the rainy countryside of France. The sound design is decent. Walking through the empty fields, you hear the ambient sound of mortars and gunfire.
Let's go!
The soundtrack is also good but a bit generic, but still good. Some of my favorite tracks you probably heard during the video. The campaign is split up in 3 separate storylines, a Soviet, a British and an American. The most generic in my opinion is the American, the other being semi-original or good told. In the Soviet missions you play as Private Vasily Kosolov, where you fight the Germans out of Moscow and take back Stalingrad. The Soviets are my favorite missions because of the snowy environment and the commies. And they just have a charm to them that not the other factions have.
Damn those fascists! They barricaded themselves on the upper floors! Shouldn't we ask them to surrender, comrade? I'll ask them and I've blown them to hell! Get the explosives up here now!
Right away, Comrade Lieutenant. We need engineers up here! Get the explosives! I've got some TNT! I'll get started over here!
The gun selection in these missions are your Soviet classics. You have the PPS-41, the PPS-42, a lighter variant of the 41, the SVT-40 and the Moist Nugget. And potatoes, the deadliest weapon.
These are potatoes, Comrade Commissar! Why are we using potatoes instead of real grenades?
Because real grenades are valuable. In fact, they are worth a lot more than you are.
You're a French conscript where after learning the basics, you are set to clear a German artillery nest. Then you have to survive a giant German attack where you retaliate by clearing and destroying a German stronghold in Moscow with dynamite.
Let's go! Let's go! Пошли, ребята, пошли!
The next mission starts off with you fighting through a German-occupied part of the city and fixing wires. The later half of the mission plays like a boss fight. where you have to destroy 2 tanks, but they can shred you into pieces in a couple of seconds. So you have to use smoke and cover to attach explosives and destroy them. In the next mission you start off by crawling through pipes and freeing an occupied train yard, and here is when the mission gives you a multiple objective to do at your own pace. The last set of missions takes in the fight to retake Stalingrad, fighting through hordes of Germans until you reach the city hall, where the Germans make their final offensive. It was a good, quite enjoyable, if I may say, quite short campaign, but only one complaint: not enough vodka. In the British missions you take control of 2 characters, Sergeant John Davis and David Welsh, a tech commander. The missions where you play as John are your standard run and gun sections, but when you play as David you take control of a tank. The British I thought was the most interesting because it takes mostly in the African fronts and some parts in France in the latter half of the war. The first mission takes part during the night, where you take out a German supply outpost and defend a village from a massive German offensive with mortar support. The next mission has you fighting through a sandy trenches and tunnels until you reach their command post. The last mission is to retake a city. You clear the Germans and their MG nest and enjoy some wine at the end.
Well, that's a sport of luck. Not bad, McGregor. Nice find. All right, listen up. We're finished here. Well done, boys.
I'll drink to that, sir.
On the next set of missions you play as David West and take control of a tank. The controls felt decent, but felt like padding to prolong the gameplay, so I'm not going to prolong this video, so I'm gonna skip this. The next set of missions starts off with a last scene in which it escalates into an on-rail shooting part in an armored car, followed by attacking the German occupied city of Tunjan and destroying their stronghold. The last mission takes part in France. Here the STG-44 or the MP-44 name in the game is introduced. The first set of missions take part during the first half of World War II, but the other half takes part during the end of the war, in which the STG was introduced, which I think was kind of neat. The first mission is to reclaim a small village, but when some wounded Americans have been found, your goal changes and so you capture a truck to help the wounded. The next mission is to fight a German enclosement and secure the village. The next one is to do the same but with a twist. There's a German Tiger tank that obliterates your Sherman. The last mission is to secure a German encampment in a farmhouse and defend it from a German offensive. Some notable things from the British missions: that being Captain Price, the man who is still in the Call of Duty franchise after so many years.
We're needed back into town, sir. Jerry tanks have been spotted advancing on our positions to the east.
Looks like we're in for a bloody hard fight, lads. Get us back quickly, Private.
Yes, sir.
Davis, McGregor, get in the Bren carrier. Move! We're finished here.
It also had some of the best variety and it was the longest. The weapons choice was also some of the best ones, having the Springfield, Thompson, Bar, Stan and the STG-44. Some parts felt like padding, but it was a still good campaign with some good ass wine. In the American missions you play as Corporal Bill Taylor. And here the movie inspirations are the most influenced, like from Saving Private Ryan. The first mission is a Normandy incursion on D-Day. After clearing the bunker and destroying the flag cannons, you defend against a German counterattack. And the last one is to occupy a small village and to snipe enemy mortar teams. The next set of missions are the Hill 400 missions, which are one of the best missions of the game in my opinion. It starts by taking a town at the foot of the hill. The next one is to capture the hill, where you run through gunfire, mortars, mines and hell and back, capturing enemy gun placement until you reach the bunker. The next mission takes place after the fight. The Germans have been preparing for an attack at the foot of the mountain, and you having too many wounded you have to defend. After arming up, they start the bombardment, sending troops, half-tracks and Tiger tanks. It's a hectic fight all the way until your air support arrives. The best set of missions of the game should have been the end, but the last mission is a letdown. Compared to the Hill 400 missions, it starts you off by crossing the River Rhine and storming Berlin. It's nothing special, it just ends with a tank fight. The weapon selection is almost the same in the British mission, with having more of the American variety. It's the most generic, except for the Hill 400 section, being the best one. The enemy like to play baseball, and by baseball I mean they throw grenades like crazy. It's probably to push out of cover and to make you more mobile, but they throw them every second and it's worse on higher difficulties. And they can also be a bit aggressive if you come too close. They start lunging at you and they don't stop until you kill them or they kill you. Your comrades are useless. The only things they are good for are for being living bullet magnets and throwing grenades back. Because in a game where enemies throw grenades like it's nothing, you still can throw them back. The only other things your comrades will do is block doorways. The multiplayer was basic when it came out, pre-made classes and basic multiplayer game modes like Team Deathmatch, Free Fall and Capture the Flag. It's still a decent experience that everybody should probably experience once, but if you're a COD player you should probably play it to see the roots of Call of Duty and to see how it changed over the years. Yeah, it's pretty short actually. I finished it in like 4 to 5 hours max. It's a good game that is not worth 20 euros for a 15-year-old game. Yeah, that's a bit too much, if I say so myself, and I do. So I encourage you to get it through other means. Wink wink. Now I don't have an outro or even an intro, I'll list some good games worth 20 euros or less. So yeah, thanks for staying to the end and I hope you come back for the next review. It will also be a World War II shooter. It's well known for being the grandfather of COD. Check my Twitter, I do stuff there. Do the subscribing and liking shit and yeah. This video was supposed to be made a fucking year ago. I just fucking hate myself for this shit. Why do I fucking make myself do all this shit? I am a fucking lazy ass piece of shit. See you next video. Bye.